Okay, so today I wanted to make a video talking about being harmless as doves and wise as serpents. I say it's wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Um, just said that in reverse order. But anyhow, I felt like I needed to make this video is because I looked on YouTube and first, let me say, I try not to look at YouTube or a lot of social media because sometimes it will become an overload. We have become the age of technology, and there are a lot of good things. And because technology is so prevalent and so available to us, um, there's a lot of knowledge going through, a lot of information and um, knowledge that is going through and that is easily available that was never once there. So now, because people have been used to being told something that is not true, people are going out to seek the truth, or they feel like what they've been told is not all there is, and they feel like somehow they've been cheated, that they're looking for other ways, or other methods. Most people are looking for information, and since the internet does that, sometimes you can get overload. You can get a freaking system overload, and people don't understand that. And we're in that age right now. Well, yes, it's a lot of truth coming out, but it's a lot of falsehoods that are coming out too. And a lot of people who, the falsehoods are so strong because they are using relevant and useful information and twisting it for personal gain, or to directly lead people astray. So that's what made me start thinking about um, what is said in the Bible about being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Another thing that I saw on the internet that made me think about this is that a lot of people are talking about the narcissist and the narcissist and blah blah this, and people are putting so much emphasis on this whole thing about narcissists. Listen, I went through it. I promise you, you had a part in it, okay? And my therapist kept telling me, "Oh, you're so empathetic. You have empathy, and this is what happened to you. You dealt with a narcissist and a sociopath and a psychopath, and um." This is what happened, and broke it down. But as I started looking at it, because everybody was like, poor me, I wasn't even trying to look at it like that. My whole thing was like, I don't know what transpired, I don't know what happened, but I know this is not my life. This is not how I even react to situations that are very difficult for me. I've had a very, not say difficult, but I had a lot of hardships growing up um, in my life, and I have not yet to react or act the way that I did during this whole transition, or feel the way that I did. I was always able to climb out of it. And yeah, I should have did red nail polish. I don't know, but I need to do my nails, but don't look at that. But anyhow, so this is why I was like, I need to go look this. A lot of people will talk about this is what you do to a narcissist, and this is what you do, and blah blah this, and it's like, honestly, first of all, only a manipulative person wants to manipulate anyone else. Okay, just plain and simple. So if you're taking the time to say, I want this person to suffer like they did, all you're just trying to do is get even. And sometimes I'm a person that gets even. I really am. But you want to get, as far as getting it, you want to get better. You want to get revenge. And I know that sounds crazy. Just like, that's getting even. No, it's not. The best way to get revenge is to better yourself. Become the best person that you can be, because when you get to that higher elevation, I promise you, you will ignite so far and so high. Like, you will be so vibrant. The vibration of you glowing and everything else is going to be so dynamic and so high that anything that is not right is going to diminish. They're not going to be able to stand on it. Now, they're going to throw jabs at you and everything, but they're not going to be able to stand on it. um yeah, so um yeah, so they was talking about that, and they were talking about people who how to attack a narcissist and blah blah this. And it's like, okay, that's really dumb. If someone knows that you know that they're on to you, what do you think they're going to do? Either they're going to come after you harder, and they're going to try to be really, really nice to you and appeasing and let your guard down again, because they already knew that they were tricking you. You're the one that didn't know, okay? You're the one that was innocent, okay? That's you being an innocent dove, but not having the balance of being a serpent, okay? Because serpents look at the cost. But anyhow, so they're gonna either be nice to you so they can fall back into your good graces and then do you even dirtier, because it never gets better, or or they're going to totally destroy you. They're going to do whatever it takes, because the cat is out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. Now, your thing as something as, being in that situation, you need to do whatever it takes to get out of there safely. You want to do with the least possible disturbance in your life. You can say, yeah, I got free and I did all this and I left the person. I hear people say, I left the narcissist at the what's the name station where they're at. Okay, well, look at all the time and the energy that is sucked up out of your life that it took for you to do that. Why couldn't you just say, okay, I'm feeling disrespected when this person says that they're going to call me at this time and they never call me at that time, and I haven't heard from them in like 2-3 weeks, then they just show up on my doorstep to say, you know what, I don't have time for that, goodbye. Why can't you do that and be done instead of just carrying it on until it builds up? So, so that's what made me think about being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Now, first, I want to talk about, because this is how you're going to get out. This is how you're going to get out of any kind of bad situations. And I'm telling you, if you apply this to your life, I don't give a care if it's a job. I had to do it with my job. I had to do it with people that were around me. I had to do this with family members. Because, family members, people don't think about that. About family members. Family is still your family. Sometimes you can't cut those ties. What about if your kids are narcissists? What if your kids are evil? Or your husband is evil? Or your dad or your mom? How do you deal with that? So you got to think of it. Wise as serpents. So why do they call serpents wise? In most history, people talk about serpents being evil, cunning, sneaky, but you got to think about what is wise. Wise is very it's persistent, but it's very, why couldn't they use smart instead of wise? So basically, I'm going to talk about serpents. Serpents, they're known for healing. They're known for being wise. And the thing about a serpent, if you ever lived in like the country, if you ever seen a serpent, if you ever seen a snake trying to eat an animal, a snake will size up that animal. Now, a snake will go sometimes and be daring and eat something that it normally will not eat. Yes, if it is hungry, yes, it will go and try to eat, something different that they don't usually eat, okay? But the serpent always size up their victims. So you won't see a snake trying to, a cobra snake trying to eat an anaconda. That's kind of crazy. Or anaconda trying to eat freaking another poisonous snake. I can't even think of the name of the doggone snake, but this is how they are, okay? They size up their victims from the first time they see them, from the vibration of it, from how they can attack it. They just try to make sure that they are always in power and always in control of the situation. If they can't take down the animal, can it hurt them? They're going to make sure, that serpent is going to make sure that he is coming out on top. You hardly ever see a snake trying to eat a hawk. You know why? Because he knows his place. But he's always trying to eat that rat. He's always trying to eat that small lizard. He's always trying to eat that, the small insects and stuff like that. So, that's the thing. Another thing about a serpent And that's something that we can use every day. I kid you not, every freaking day, because that person who was evil, who was manipulating you, who was tricking you, doing some things that you didn't like, how did you get in that situation in the beginning? Because you let your guard down, because you thought this person was something else. And then when you got out of that situation, I noticed this for myself. When I got out of that situation, I healed, and I was healing really, really well. But I noticed that some of the things I let my guard down again. And these things will keep happening over and over and over. God is just like that until you learn, you know. Yeah. So,